Always the wrong way. Ah. Check. It's not even turned on. Check 1, 2. Mic. Check. 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 Check 1, 2. Test. Mic. 1, 2. Check. 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 Check mic. Testing. Testing. I don't even know if this is working or not. Hold on. Get run metrics. That's when you don't know, you run the metrics. Even the initiates know that much. You gotta basic diagnostics. You whittle it down, so to speak. I'm gonna write a program called Audacity. Just make sure the mic's working. Check 1, 2. We could do this. I could call up someone, say, "Hey, can you hear me?" Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Okay, appears to be working. All right, live streaming. Is there such a thing? Such a thing? How can you be well assured you're not being buffered? How do you know? How do you know? How do you really know? I just fire up the computer. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go rogue. I'm gonna go talk to people. Tell you what, like back in the day before YouTube was affiliated with Google, I did these videos. I was like smoking a lot of weed at the time. This is me. It's like, I don't know which way. Where's the camera? Is it this way or is it that way? It's like, yeah, it's like. Yeah, it's time. I gotta do something. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with my life? Gee, eureka! I know. I'm gonna make a video. Oh my God! It's like that inner dialogue. Hey, it's like, wow, what are you gonna make a video about, Mr. Blake? Oh my God, gee, what a head scratcher, man. I just fucking learned to tie my shoes yesterday. I don't know if I can make a video. It sounds pretty complicated. It's like Flintstones, the alien on the shoulder. Why don't you make a video about making videos? Oh my God. Why didn't I think of that? So I made this video about cooking. Not about making videos, but about I did this cooking show. It's like and like even before like internet was in the households and stuff, like I was doing video stuff like VHS and audio tapes and 8-bit computers and patch cords and all this like gonzo engineering stuff, right? And I made some pretty fun stuff. I had it like all saved on VHS and like what do you call it? Like stereo, like VHS. Anyway, for those who know, youngsters, I had it in a like a Egyptian sarcophagus like type format. What happened is my mom taped General Hospital over it. It was like these, just, I don't know, I'm not going to call them brilliant works or anything, but it was like pretty novel stuff, It was a bit painstaking. There's some Lego animation on there and everything. And it's like, now it's recorded over by General Hospital. It's my own fault for not. Can't blame mom, right? But it's like, maybe my buddy has like remnants. He keeps his cards tucked, so we'll see. Not a big issue either way. I'm just reminiscent. Like, well, wish I could just like, yeah, cut to that, but it's non-existent here on my end. Yeah. So yeah, Problem City. Hot topic, hot button conversation. What's in the news? What's going on in Iran? No one wants to think about that. Like, I don't know. Like thinking, boy, oh boy, like what if someone like came to my doorstep and it's like, bro, you need to know what's going on in the Middle East. And be like, God, fuck, really? I don't know. It's like, come on in, man. If I can make you a toast and sardines. It's like, glass of, make some coffee, put the coffee on. It's like, well enough, if you're of the Islamic faith, I can offer you like a whiskey or anything. It's like some coffee, put some coffee on, toast and sardines, man. It's okay. It's like kosher and halal, I think. That's something I think about too. My ancestors are basically persecuted people who fled to Canada. Like, I'm laughing. It wasn't funny back then, I don't think. Yeah, you won't find a lot of fans of the aristocracy amongst my clan, right? That said, I look at the aristocracy now as like someone who's had a couple of buffering generations, and like, what do I know? I really still know nothing, but what I see is like a preservation of tradition, which is hard to not respect. Like, you see all this like Asian real estate and I know people in the know would say, wow, they bastardized that, or they hid that, or it's all for their own benefit and stuff. But yeah, at least something exists from the past. Is the way I see it. Like, something to sink your teeth into a little bit. That sounds vampiric, but to be able to see, like, when books get burned and people see fit to erase recent history or not so recent history, whatever. It's like when I scrub a dish, like, I don't have a scullery made at my disposal, so I gotta scrub my own dishes. And there's always that little hanger-on piece there. I'm like, what? It's like cemented on there onto a smooth surface. Like, I'm like, how am I frustrated? I'm just like, I'll show you, put you in the sink and go at you with a steel wool. You're coming off there, hell or high water, little piece of cemented food. It's like, yeah, that's how it goes. The way the cookie crumbles until it sticks to the side of your cookie pan. It's a cookie pan, man. I just wrote a song, the cookie pan, man. The cookie pan, man. 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 Imagine like shopping at Walmart while that's playing, like cookie pan, man. Whoa. It was like subconsciously like, I've got to go to aisle G4. So I think it was a cookie pan, man. 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 Ride the bus. New surf movement. Don't mind my AI. Cookie pan, man. Yeah, see, just make that up. People say I'm not influenced by like G5 technology. I beg to differ. Plus your buttons, Elon Musk. Yeah, it's a real controversial figure, Elon. Okay, I might look big on camera, tough, but I can only do 1.5 chin-ups and 1.5 dips, but I'm working on it. It's tomorrow. I'm going to do 2 chin-ups if it kills me, and 2 dips. 2 dips, 2 chin-ups. Let's write a song. 2 dips, 2 dip. I'm a gypsy heart, and I like to tell you about my chin-up regimen. I do 2 chin-ups every night. I do 2 dips until I pass out all right. Imagine that's your life. You work all day, like scamming people. Like, it's not easy scamming. You gotta set up the scam and everything. And then, make the phone calls like, hey, is your grandma there or whatever? It's like, you feel bad about it, but it's just, got to put food on the table, right? And then it's like gypsy days and gypsy nights. We got to scan all the old seniors in sight. Like, I'm not even a gypsy. I just like know how they think. I was surprised. Like, a friend of mine like suggested like I run with the crowd, and really, I've always been averse to thievery. Like, I'll steal from my friends, but not from strangers. So, yeah, I was just, it was remarkable to me that like he thought that like I buckle to peer pressure, like when my history has demonstrated that I don't necessarily. When it comes to drugs, yes. Like, someone says like, "Oh yeah, we got this like drug here." I'd be like, "Oh yeah, really?" This to me that's exciting. It's like, whoa, it alters your mind. Whoa. It's like, okay, let me. Oh, I don't know. And like, try some, man. Like, sucking air through my teeth. Like, I don't know. Mom always told me it's not good doing drugs and shit. Hey, They're like, oh, don't be a pussy. I'm like, yeah, I'm no pussy, man. Fucking show me that whatever you got there. And it was like, and then hold it in, like, to really get the full effect. They hold it in. And they're like, whoa, that guy's hardcore. I'm like holding it. And I'm like, did I ever tell you about the time I worked at the bus company? They're like, woo! Woo! We got another one, bro! Yeah! Woo! Fucking dude with that teardrop tattoo. Where am I? What am I doing? This one time, I was telling Buddy, like, I worked for got a history of commercial driving. That's like, if you're a commercial driver, like back in the day, like, you got, like, used to be like, smoke cigarettes. Not smoke. Fucking. Actually made some sales today, so I can afford to smoke a little bit. Love smoking. American Spirit. I'm gonna shout out. Look at this. I don't like to do. You know what? I'll only promote stuff I like. This is like, put it up here. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see the title. It's right where my index finger is. It says American Spirit and CNT are the only two brands on the market in the legal cigarette department that I consider worth smoking. I have gotten some black market cigarettes that are better than some of the premium brands, like currently, like back in the day, Export A and Demore and Players were all like fantastic. Now, not so much. if you like those bands now, like I don't know what's wrong with your head, because it's like Three Drags are gone. It's like Kiss Your Money Goodbye. American Spirit, nice. Mm, 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 mm. Lung Food, bros, and sisters across the universe. Really nice. Doing the internet is really fun. I know you don't need me to tell you that, right? I'm a cheeky devil. Whoa, I'm looking at the mic. I'm trying to look. I'm a cheeky devil. um, Look at a lot of you know who I really like on YouTube lately is Ben and Emily, and they're longboating, and they're I don't know who I like better, Ben or Emily. Ben, he does like incredibly like music that harkens back to my teenagehood years when I was listening to stuff like a decade and a half earlier than when I was, I was like, when I was like 19, I was listening to Led Zeppelin and discovering like Jeff Beck and then beyond, David Bowie and stuff. And so so Ben does some like serious like you can hear like Small Faces and like the influences are all entirely like Brit rock stuff that I like. I would say look him up. I'm going to get around to it myself. And Emily, I think I got her name right, I was like first put off by the nose ring. I thought, oh, but then it's like highly intellectual girl with a strong sense of humor and talents. Like it's like wow, like they not only have a houseboat, now they've got like they're buying a big trailer and stuff, and they have like who am I to even talk about it? I just want to stop like gushing. I'm gushing over you, but I would say that was just like if you're listening to me, like you're wasting your time, kind of, sort of. I might come up with something worthwhile here one of these days. I'm getting off the sauce. Once a long time ago, I wrote a song like "If I Ever Get Off the Sauce," and it had a pretty cool groove to it. Like I think I played a 12-string guitar. It's like, and just the tempo of it is like kind of drunken stupor tempo. It's like, if I ever get off the sauce, dun, 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 dun. If I ever get off the sauce, dun, 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 dun. If I ever get off the sauce, that's like those words, like as simple as they are, like have resonated with me over the years. Like struggled with my own like bluesism, and evaluate myself. Like I'm like, gee, I didn't drink for 4 days. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's like I might live another 2 weeks into my mid-60s now. If you wanna if you wanna dice it up like that. But speaking of dice, like I got like a whole game thing going. I'm gonna do the game mechanics. I'm gonna hook up with. I've got a couple of friends who are. Not that I'm not mathematically minded, but I have friends who are superiorly more mathematically minded than myself, if you can believe that. And then I want to write it in a machine code. Like I'm like, this is how like Hitler I can be. Like I'm like, no Python, no C, machine code. We're gonna do it in machine code. Easily compilable for the fucking computer brain. The fucking computer brain, eh? Ooh, transistor. And it's like, I just pull it all in. And it'll be like a slick fucking program. Takes up very little memory. And then we'll copyright it. And then we will send it off to like design team extraordinaire. We'll send it off to like the Hugo Boss of like making 3D shit that like people like to see. Like if you're playing a dice game, you want to see the dice rolling. It's like satisfaction. Like, then you hit the mouse button or the space bar or the fucking hit the fucking thing on the screen, That's what you want. The fucking I love this game, man. Fuck, play more. You know what I mean, eh, bros? So I can get that fucking button pushing going. Fuck. Like top 5.17%. And it's like now you're shopping for the fucking Toyota Supra. Okay, I just admitted it. That's my dream sports car, Toyota Supra. I just want a Toyota Supra. Not really. I don't know. I don't want to fucking work on cars, really. But if I had a buddy who's like, oh man, you got a Toyota Supra, man. Fuck, I got it. You need this and that. And I'll be like, oh, dodgy. Fuck, really? Yeah. Fucking throw it in. Instead of the fucking. It's like we're having a fondue party this weekend, man. You're invited, dude. Like, oh, really, man? Fuck. Fondue. I've never been to a fondue party before. Yeah, it's fucking. We got Gruyere, we got ricotta, fucking everything in the bowl, man. It's all be melted. Just give you a double prong fork and just whole fresh bread. Wow, fresh bread, man. Oh yeah. Dip in the cheese. Oh, it's gonna be good. And there's gonna be got a chick who knows wine. She's gonna bring a bottle, or 7, or 9, or 12, 12 bottles, white wine with the fondue. Oh man, can I invite my mom? Oh yeah, invite your mom, man. Invite your mom. That's an album title right there, right? Like, invite your mom. Invite your mom. It's like, and then you got a song about like figure skating. Got a song about encyclopedias. It's like pulled out the D. Learned about Vorak. Pulled out the F. Learned about futurism. What's in an encyclopedia? I got an encyclopedia set. It's like New World Order nonsense. Doesn't bother me. It's everything I have is for sale because everything's on the internet now, and there's no way. There is no way there's going to be a magnetic impulse thing that's going to destroy all the stuff, man. Like, the internet is here to stay. Can I hear a shout out? Here to stay. Here to stay. Here to stay. I was listening to this song, Tegan and Sarah. I won't say where I was when I first heard it, but I had to like memorize like a couple of lyrics in order to ascertain where it came from on the Googleplex. I don't have an ashtray here. It was like the chord progression is like dun 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 dun. I'm not doing it justice. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Bum bum bum. Dun 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 dun. Bum bum bum. And then, like, I heard this song like after hearing like a lot of like cookie cutter stuff, and then little did I realize it was the delivery of this song within the cookie cutter context that made it stand out for me. And so I was like, what? This is good. Even though I've heard the chord progression 100,000 times before type thing, I'm like, wow, man, this is I was like, I heard it and I felt like I was in an RV, like traveling across the land, and like, you know, unrequited love, like sort of like, I was like, it really, really transported me, you know, these two, at the time I didn't know it was these two sisters. Like, I was picturing like ultra hot babes singing it, you know, and it just turns out to be these like, you know, squat twins with like tattoos and stuff, eh? And I'm like, yeah, Fuck, they fooled me, you know. I'm like, yeah, it's just an old, tried and true chord progression that permeates throughout pop music. But they, you know, I was like, wow, you know. It was like in the post ABBA world, I was kind of thinking like ABBA, because their vocal harmonies were just so, let's say, I'll use the word organic, and they turned out to be twin sisters, and I'm like, wow, you know, like that song at the time, like really like transported me, even though, you know, like it's just a magical chord progression. And I'm speaking as someone who knows chord progressions. I do dabble in the musical arts a little bit myself, time to time. Check out my SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/richmath. Check out my stuff if you want. And, yeah, it's like, out of all the cookie cutter, like weird, like some of the stuff I heard on that like live stream was just like wholly irritating, like just like repetitive nonsense. Just like, I want to do like not sarcasm, but not hyperbole. Can't think of that. It's like a combination of ridicule and something else. Like, and this is like Fear William Fight Government. Like, it's like, yeah, fuck Trudeau. I put a sticker on my truck. Fuck Trudeau. No. What you need to do is to practice ridicule. Is to, because, and it's all fairness, because a guy like, I don't know. Do you want to talk about it? I'm reluctant to say one way or the other. No doubt, like nobody's a huge fan of Trudeau if you're paying taxes and stuff. Paying taxes and stuff. If you're here's what I know the reality. I don't know it firsthand, but I can well imagine if you've got a couple of kids and you're working, you got a good paying job, maybe your wife has a good paying job as well, and you're struggling now, like you're like, I'm like the canary in the coal mine. It's easy for me because I don't have kids and I don't pay a lot of money comparatively. But boy, oh boy, when I see like a jar of mayonnaise is like approaching $6, I'm like, this, what goes in my mind, you don't even want to hear it. Like, I'm like, oh, I refuse to go further. I could scream out at the top of my lungs, and maybe my neighbors won't call someone. It hasn't happened in the distant past, you know. But yeah. Looking at like unrealistic food prices, and it's like I can't even buy an 18 carton and feel good. I gotta buy the 30 carton in order to save a buck or two, so that I can afford to smoke cigarettes and drink booze. You know, how does that sound? I was like, well, if only you quit smoking and drinking, then maybe affording cheese wouldn't be such a problem. It's like, really, really, I'm paying $3,000 a year towards a provincial government and tobacco tax. You think maybe give me a head scratch? No. I'm just like, I haven't visited a physician in 22 years. You think maybe like just a little bit of recognizance here? No, you're just a pay pig, you fucking retard. That's what they're, until I pipe up, or, but I'm more than happy to fly under the radar, believe it, given my penchant for fierce independence. Until I've never used the food bank. I have some friends who can't say the same. Like, why you're using the food bank? I've been an accomplice. I've driven them there. But they have kids and I don't, so it's a whole different ballgame. I can't. If I had kids, I'd probably do the same thing. No joking around, bros. Oh yeah. Yeah, Canada, living in Canada, man. The Great White North. You ever go explore into Greenland territory? Got all these islands up there. That's where they showcase Mars rover. Like when you're watching this NASA channel, it's oh, here's the Mars rover. They're really on. I was gonna say Ellesmere Island, but no, they got a uninhabited island where they do all the Mars footage. It's like if you actually believe they have robots with cameras on Mars, I gotta bring you over to Smoky Lake and feed you some magic mushrooms, bro. No joking around, man. We'll have some beef brisket, magic mushrooms, and then we'll show you some videos, and you'll be like, "Whoa, man!" Until I left here, man, I actually thought they went to another planet. It's all bogus, dude. They're on. I can't remember the name of the island. Someone in the comments might, if you're listening, might punch it in there. It's where they do the testing and everything. It's where you've seen glitches from NASA photos, and there happens to be a little rodent in the shot. They didn't filter out. They weren't keen enough. They weren't keen enough. They weren't paid enough. You know, like 60 grand a year isn't enough to make sure, you know, shuffle around pictures and make sure there's no like anomalies or like strong indications. It's not what they're telling you it is. It's like, yeah, we're on Mars. Yeah, it only costs you like 4.2 billion or whatever. Let's through that number at 4.2. Sounds good. 4.2 billion. Yeah. Talking real numbers, working class. If you're a working class person, man, you want to, if you're working class, you want to join middle class. Well, here, truth be told, like I just like, I'm like, didn't have to work that hard to attain lower middle class standard. You know, that doesn't make me popular, especially amongst, you know, hardworking working class people. But what about if you want to direct your ire towards like a particular group? How about the upper middle class who are highly protective of their status? Whereas I just, you know, I couldn't help but fall into this like lot. These guys, they actively seek to suppress like the working class. I'm just joking. I don't know. I don't even know what they do. They're busy enough knowing this and that. Like, what do I know? Is there an agenda at play? Is there an agenda at play? Yes. Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm not a part of it. I don't think anyone I know is a part of it. They're like growing up, like everyone is really cool. I was probably the least cool. I was like the most hyperactive douchebag, you know. Just looking back, you know, maybe not the worst, but like among the worst. Yeah. Now I'm a big boy. Now I'm smarter than that. Nobody talks to me on Facebook anymore. Really. Just I make sales. I sold a record album today. It's pretty good. Making sales, making new friends, you know, that's why friends grow apart. Like when you're like, I'm a single cat, never married, no kids. So it gets hard to relate to old high school friends who have kids and they've got busy lives and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you know, come over, play a card game and get drunk and gee, no, I gotta do home renos and all this shit. Or like, you know, we gotta go. You know, my wife's aunt is going through a hard time, stuff like that. Like when you're, and I'm like kind of envious of that, sort of. You know, I don't have any of that kind of urgency, or it's like nobody calls upon me to help or anything. Oh. Yeah, I cry now and then like tomorrow, like someone's gonna ask me if my pickup truck is running. Like I'm ready to day drink. I'm like, you know, would I lie? I'd like to know if it was a true matter of urgency before I start like making up excuses. It's like, God, gee, I'd love to help, but I got a flat. My spare tire is flat, and I don't have enough money to get them repaired right now. I'm really banking on selling a wardrobe this week, so I can afford to put a new tire on the truck. Power, just, yeah, because they'll never know. And every week they've got a new problem. So I got this thing. It's like an inductive charger. And I don't know if you can see that there, eh? This is a battery. So you know it's working because you see the light shut off. Then I put the battery on here. So it's creating a magnetic field, and presumably it's charging things. That's pretty cool. What else cool? Tape measure. If you're someone like me who's like involved in internet commerce, you're like buying and selling like things of a physical nature. Like people want to know the dimensions, so you got to have a tape measure, right? This tape measure runs 10 feet. So I don't like sell anything more than like maybe 3 feet long. Like I got inventory that might exceed that length, but like a tape measure like this, like if you're just buying a tape measure for, let's see what brand this is. This is a Evans Rule True Lock. This isn't something you'd like take out to a construction site. Like it's not a super rugged, and it's only 10 feet. But for like doing like, you know, you're selling comic book. Everyone knows the dimensions of comic books, but like say a piece of art, or like a you know, wall hanging, you know, something like that, and like that's when I've mostly gotten requests regarding dimensions of stuff I'm selling. Like I'll put some out there, I won't list the dimensions, and like it's like someone's like, can you tell me how wide it is? You know, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. So you got the tape measure, and you're like, oh yeah, it's like 42 and 3/8 inches, you know, wide. And just run that back, and like you've already measured it like deep, eh? But you don't tell her that because you're kind of like, this chick's hot, right? I'm joking. Sort of half joking. I know, like I'm well aware enough to know like chicks aren't interested in an old codger like me, but you know, play around a little bit. It's like, how high is it? And then you're right back. As high as you can imagine, baby. Joking. Don't do that. Don't pick. I've never done that, but I just. Well, you know, maybe there's chemistry there. Like just play around, I guess. You don't want to get too prudish or Victorian, right? Hey, you know what? Time for that's probably like gets me. I don't know. Smoking a cigarette, man. Oh, man, it's been like 5 days since I've had a pack of smokes. I've been so poor, being poor, not fun. Um, like I want to talk about everything under the sun. Honestly, I do. I'm thinking about retirement. Like I know you won't believe, I'm almost 50. So that's like I'm easily middle aged, like given trends. Like who knows? Like I might live to be 140. I kind of feel like I feel like I'm like I don't know. How do you feel? How do you feel in your heart of hearts? How does your kidneys feel? Like, can you tap into your like? Do you have that uh, intelligent design? Like, do you know how your stomach is working? Is your heart ticking? Can you are you eating too much sugar? That's a big problem with a lot of my buddies. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty rare. It's pretty rare I have people over lately, but in the past, like they bring over a soda pop, like a 2 liter of Pepsi. Like, good God. Like they don't smoke cigarettes, so like who am I to talk? I'm like the least healthy dude because I smoke cigarettes and drink like straight liquor sometimes. Like, but I'm like I'm finger wagging them like about the soda pot, not because it's carbonated beverage, but the sugar, the corn syrup shit. There, you know, it's like a little drop of that is okay, but like to be like putting back like 2 liters of that shit, it's like worse than me drinking this like triple ale from Quebec, which is very sweet. Honestly, like boy, you know, one night or 2 nights, okay. But you're drinking that like sugary, highly refined sugar um, habitually. And then you're surprised that you have problems when you go and visit your physician. They run some tests, and I'm feeling tired, and gee, I got swollen feet, and all this stuff. I don't know why, doc. You go to the doctor, and the doctor, if he's like smart, he'll say, he'll ask you, "What's your diet? How much soda pop you fucking drinking?" Right? So, wow, yeah, part of my daily schedule, doc. So what? No, cut that. Cut. If I was a physician, I'd say, stop now. Tomorrow, you're not. You're gonna substitute that with club soda and maple syrup. Like I'd fucking even buy him a. If I was a physician and probably have money, I'd buy him a soda stream, and I'd even like pay money to get my own like maple syrup thing, and then like want a soda pop, dark maple syrup, club soda. That's it. Not this like sucrose, glucose, fucking ready mix, fucking diabetes formula. No. And you got to restrict yourself to 2 pops a day. That's it. You got to, one in the afternoon, one in the evening, if you're so inclined, right? That's Dr. Puzzle College talking. Smoking tobacco. These are not regular cigarettes, but BTW. This is American Spirit. It's like as far as like basic consumer market cigarettes go, this is, in my opinion, the best. There's a dude on YouTube, really, I think he's really cheeky. It was funny, like he drives a Mercedes Benz and he smokes all kinds of cigarettes. Like he's unapologetic, and I think it's pretty cool. He smoked. I think he might tend to agree with me, like on all the smokes I can buy in the gas station. I've got a gas station. They bring in CNT and American Spirit, and that's, in my opinion, the only cigarettes worth smoking if you're gonna smoke cigarettes. Just like talk about lung food. It's really nice. And then this beer, this is Fin DU Monde. Don't judge me. Tomorrow's going to be a productive day. I'm going to probably, I can't even, let's talk about the price of food. Like being a low income fella, I have to struggle. I have to juggle, not struggle so much, but juggle finances all the time. It's like I have to pay out like $2,500 here, and then I'm like, maybe I can't afford mayonnaise this month. I'm like, the whole month I got, make like these potato cubes in my air fryer, olive oil. I got olive oil, but I got to put Heinz ketchup on them, for it. Like, instead of like Hellman's real mayonnaise, right? So because that's my go-to when it comes to eating my home-cooked potato cubes. I like a big thing of mayonnaise there where I can dip them in there. Like that's my go-to condiment when it comes to potato kiwi, like fried potato cubes. I'll give you the recipe if you look at the link below. Just kidding. I'm not sophisticated enough to put links below, but yeah, the potato cube and Hellman's real I mean, you could get better than hell. I know that. I know it's just status quo mayonnaise. Ain't nothing wrong with it though. It's like sort of a perfect concoction, really. Sort of like French's Dijon mustard. You know it could be better, but it's still pretty good. Imagine that. I went to the grocer, the local grocer, and I bought great expense. I bought French's Dijon mustard, and it was not nearly as good as the custom prepared mustard my sister-in-law brought over in a pickle jar, a custom pickle jar. Yeah, it was like prepared mustard, and then there's prepared mustard, right? If I was to prepare mustard, ask yourself that, hey. I'd probably use a food processor. Put in like 3 cloves of garlic, no less. Some horseradish. What do you like? The roots. Then to mellow it out a little bit, I put like just a couple of thumbnails full of fresh sage. Throw that in the food processor, right? Nutmeg, just a pinch of nutmeg. I don't know. I'd go from there. Like, I don't know. I'm not classically trained in culinary arts. But if I wanted to be like, my first stop would be France. I think everyone can agree on that. The French kind of have a monopoly of food, like duck l'orange. Yeah, I don't have luxury of like having duck because I don't hunt. But I've marinated chicken and pork in like an fresh squeezed orange base, like marinade. It's fine. It's like slow cook it, 270 degrees for about like 4.5 hours. So it comes out. Wow. I was like, it's like, whoa. Like once you sink that knife in, and the knife just like melts through it. It's like, whoa, yeah. Okay. Enough of the breatheism. Bring the dog in here. It's probably past the time is it. I told myself I'm not staying up past 2 a.m. tonight. So it's okay if I stay up till 2 hours past midnight. All you night owls out there, like, high five. See, and bring my dog into the picture. one of these days, like you might look back on this video. I don't want to have a like a cheap lot. I wish I did. I wish I had like 1,000 followers right now. I'd be like, yeah, shout out to so and so. Like, send me a message. My real stock holding claims on the World Wide Web lie within SoundCloud, like all the tasteful music that I've produced. And people laugh at SoundCloud. Well, maybe I'll have the last laugh. Huh? Ever think of that? Maybe SoundCloud will catapult itself to the forefront of it'll be like Spotify on steroids one day. Probably never thought of that, right? See, my dog comes out. She's pretty old. That's our code, whistle code. See what I do? Like, there might be trouble. She's like 12 and she knows she's wise to my games. Yeah, I know that. She's not a dumb dog. Sometimes if I had a pit bull or something, it'd be like right on my lap, man. I gotta bite some kids. Non-responsive. Listen, how? Okay, I could summon her, but I guess I won't. She clearly doesn't want to participate in this live stream. That's all right. And I'm okay with it. I told my friend, I've got enough booze that I'm gonna go on chat roulette. I don't typically do it. Okay, I don't need to tell you. I'm excited. I'm totally excited about it. Talking to strangers across the land. And so I'm going to just finish up this stream. I'm going to hope nobody in their right mind ever watches it. And, bid everyone a good night. It's like we'll leave out with Friendly Giant. Look up, way up, and I'll call Rusty. Rusty! Well, hello, friendly. Oh, man. Golden age of children's television programming. If you're still with me, I'm still with you. And, man, when I came back to North America and saw programs like The Friendly Giant, I was entirely mesmerized. I was blown away. I was I was behind like 3 years from my peers in terms of TV programming at that time. But I caught up quick. You know, it was like Friendly Giant, Polka Dot Door. Let's look through the polka dot door. What songs and stories, so much more. There was, of course, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Later on in life, Fred Penner's Place. It was like, oh, what the fuck? It's like my dad. He's not allowed to grow a beard because he's Air Force, right? And there's Fred Penner with his beard, and he's like going into this like little opening in the forest with his backpack and pulling out a guitar and playing songs. I'm like, wow, man. I'm like 7 years old and watching this. I'm like, wow. My dad's at work and like pulling wrenches, and I'm sitting at home like eating Kellogg's cornflakes with like a mountain of sugar on top, and milk, and watching Fred Penner. I'm like, what? This doesn't make sense. This is fun. What kind of timeline am I in here? It was nice. It was a nice timeline. And I started noticing like creeping communism, like Jace and the Wheeled Warriors. And I was like fucking led into like Kurt Cobain, you know, talentless, like suicidal douchebag, like heroin junkie, fucking dude with his Hollywood hottie Courtney Love. What a you know. Oh man, who is she? Hey, know what to do. Fly away and Malibu, and then they got that ginger bass player, and it's like fucking jack off to that, right? Whoa. And then she's if you could give me her phone number, I'd be willing to entertain her. Sure, she doesn't need my help, but boy, oh boy, yeah, like, you know, it sounds crazy, eh? Like, if I could be a star maker, totally. I'd be her Mutt Lange, she'd be my Shania Twain, if you know what I mean. You know what to do. you know what to do. You know, like lyrics like that, that's mind-bending stuff, eh? Because you're listening, you're in a hypnotic trance already with the chord progression. Hey, you know what to do. And that's a universal appeal right there. That's like, come on, baby, fly. It gets more specific, like into the regional, you know, Malibu. It's like I live in like Malibu North, right? In a sense, you could argue that high tax rate, high property tax rate, lots of rich people. You know, it's like it's not as prestigious or on the map, but it's like if you were to examine, it'd be interesting exercise to examine the per capita income between, let's call it like Paradise North versus Malibu. You know, I know there'd be a huge like rift, but if you were to filter things down a little bit, like say, oh yeah, per capita, this and that, there might be some correlation, some kind of like specific number of correlation, maybe that might not be obvious at first glance. Just thinking. A guy like me, a pillar of the community, like maybe run for school board trustee. Like, here's my credentials. I got no kids, never had kids, never married. They put me on the school board. Yeah. Well, what did you do in the past? You know what? I drove the school bus, and so I have a little bit of insight into how these juveniles are thinking. Right? I got Christmas gifts from their parents. You know. Tim. Actually, I'm looking at one right now. Tim Hortons copy. I'll show you just to demonstrate that I'm not just making stuff up. I never thought it'd get to this point. Oh, this is, and if you can believe this is. It's a Tim Hortons coffee mug. See if that catch the light there. Take my word for it. And it was like on a route in district of, thinking it was Crane Lake. No, not Crane Lake. Not Crane Lake. Moose Lake. Moose Lake. This is like sort of a region outside of the town of Bonneville, where you've got like 3-acre plots. What they would have put a price factor on it, like just so you can wrap your head around it. Probably for undeveloped lot in 2016, you would have been looking at no less than $80,000 just for the let's say an acre and a half, maybe. Whatever, it's like, all intents and purposes, not Walmart workers, like. But yeah, it's like being a school bus driver, and like. And then I got I think this came with a package of Tim Hortons coffee. So one of the parents, they were thoughtful enough to, this is like before COVID happened. I would have continued driving a school bus if it weren't for, the specter of everyone's getting sick and everything. And interestingly enough, like my name's Blake, and the mother of the kid the kid's name, the family that gifted me this mug. I know it's just to me it's special. They named their little boy Blake as well. So it's like from Blake's mom to Blake, Mr. School Bus Driver. I think I've said this before. Like, yeah, when I was a school bus driver, like the kids, I know it was a fun job. It was really fun for me. So you got a bit of a stretch, like going to school. So the kids are singing songs, a little bit rambunctious, and they're high on their Pop-Tarts or whatever, and asking me questions is, it's like I wish I had a good anecdote, but one thing is like before they knew me or anything, it was like bus driver. Some girl, bus driver. How come we have to wait 3 minutes after our stop? And then I'd like nip it in the bud. I'd be like, Mr. Bus Driver. Mr. Bus Driver, how come we have to wait 3 minutes? Oh man, I miss those days, man. That was fun. Yeah, COVID really threw a wrench into my livelihood. Good news, like I got like $6,000 out of getting like summarily and officially laid off, which is $6,000. It's a pretty big chunk of change for like working stuff, And then I continued to get more payments. Thankfully, I saved some of it because they came back and said, "Well, now you owe us $1,000." I'm like, here's my plans for building a studio, I guess. Pay back we call that a clawback scheme or whatever. But, I think they caught a lot of people off guard. Spent all the money, and then it's like, wow, I don't have $1,000 to pay back, right? No joke. And it's like miscalculation. How dare they even miscalculate like that? Like with all the resources and infinite tax money they have to hire the best and brightest. You would think, paying these salaries, and then they miscalculate. Anyone can understand human error and stuff. You don't want to wag the stick too hard. But it's like, good God, to give someone money and then pull the rug out. Not cool. Not cool at all. Especially, me, it's easy for me. I don't have like mega obligations and everything. But yeah, a lot of people are they're hanging. I'm walking a tight wire. If I'm walking a tight wire, these people are like cosmonauts. You know what I mean? Like, good God. That's not fun. Yeah. Canada. What does it mean? What it means for me is a labyrinthine taxation system. Uh, boy, oh boy, like you could, I guess you could argue, anyone can argue, but you could argue that our, I'm going to call it a labyrinthine taxation system is effective at sussing out imposters and charlatans and stuff. Charlotte, no, that's not really right, but imposters, ne'er do wells. You know, it's got so many stop gaps and these are thosers, but like for a guy like me, like just refund the money. You know, they've got my bank number, they've got everything. Now I have to go through this dance and I've got to provide documents. I've got to do all this shit. You couldn't ask for a more simple case than myself. Never married, no kids, no dependents, no this, no that. Just basic paycheck, overpaid, blah, blah, blah. Give me my money back, please. Like quickly. Because I'm always behind and bills. Kills me, man. No joking around. No. It's like I'm gonna go talk to a professional banker person and see if, because I'm not even abreast of like what's available. Like I'm like, I've been banking in the red since my folks died. Essentially, I've sort of had to. I could have like stopped drinking and smoking, but maybe. But even if I did do that, like I'd still be kind of behind the eight ball, so to speak. So I want to talk to a professional, see if I can just like, you know, consolidate some of these like high interest payments I've been making over the last few years, like get out from under that sooner rather than later, right? Like, you know, it's not something you want to. Is it a matter of pride? I'd say, yeah. That's like pride never worked for anyone. So I've got to just like suck on the helium. Hello, banker. Can you help me with my finances? We're like, yeah, have a seat. Lay it out, pat it out. God damn. I don't want to admit how much money I spend on cigarettes. And that's something. It's like, okay, just because I don't pay income tax doesn't mean I don't pay mega tax. Like, if you're someone who has a habitual smoking habit, listening to me YouTube, but this applies to Canadian. I don't know if it's like in the States, if you get like fleeced on tobacco. But I think, like, okay. A cigarette shouldn't cost more than 25 cents per. And then throw in some tax. Okay, let's call it 28 cents. Like the government collects like 2 cents per cigarette. A lot of people smoke, still smoke. I smoke. I know I'm not alone. But no, they got to collect 85 cents per smoke. If you want to break it down unitarily. Like I buy a pack of smokes for $20, $1 a cigarette. That's too much. And it's not too much if that's the market demand or whatever. But it's all provincial tax. So, people can grumble and say, well, you're wealthy and you don't even, what are you complaining about? Well, I spend $3,000 a year on provincial tax. Don't tell me just because I get a refund every year and I don't work a lot doesn't mean I'm not paying tax. Tobacco, liquor is another one. Like I like drinking Belgian ale, There's another 5 cents in the government, just that sip. Really? Like, okay, 1 cent? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm a bad, it's a sin tax. I'm a bad boy drinking liquor, beer, fucking wine or whatever. So I'm rich enough to afford to do that without like dipping into my cabbage bill. Okay, I get that, but like what, like 80% tax? And I haven't even had a medical appointment in over 2 decades. So you're going to tell me, oh, well, it's like paying for your, sickness or, fuck. I'll tell you what, I'm living to be 90 without ever seeing a practicing physician. The only physicians I talk to are my friends. How about those apples there? You smarmy book club types, right? And if I'm wrong, guess what? You win because I never cost the system a dime. But yeah, no, I'm not complaining about that. What I'm complaining about is like the draconian taxes on tobacco and liquor. And then telling us it's not that bad. Why don't you tax fentanyl if you're really that concerned about like people's health? Some like who among us doesn't know someone who's been touched by the highly refined opium, I guess. I don't know. I never tried it. I almost feel like I want to in solidarity. Like just say, hey, okay, now I see where you're coming from, right? I can't relate. And a lot of us can't. But a lot of us know someone who's inadvertently gotten way too high, I suppose. That's a fair way of putting it. I don't know, folks. So it's hard. It's hard for me to even do this. Not really. I love just spouting out and talking. Oh man, yeah. Thinking about times I lived in Calgary, Alberta, times I lived in Edmonton, Alberta, and I currently reside in Cold Lake, Alberta. And it's very, very nice and it's very nice and quiet here. I'm fortunate enough to live in a well-established working class community. Call it even a bedroom community. It's like really no traffic. Well, it's Monday evening. I work nights, so I'm a night owl. I'm up late, ready to answer questions and talk to people. I'm sure that nobody will tune in. Probably not, but that's okay. At least got my message out there. To me, is like it's monumental. That's something. It's like what other time in the last like 30 years could I even? I'd have to get on the typewriter and call my buddy. Hey, you got a printing press ready? Yeah. Put it around there. Now I just turn on the camera, computer, internet, blah blah blah. Now I can cheers anyone across the galaxy. We even believe in galaxies. I don't. I believe in hyper jumps. Like you get a cannon, you can go to Mars, like Percival Lowell. Now you're in Mars. You think you're on another planet, but you're actually just over the ice barrier. This is like right home about, or this is like head scratchers. Like it's like, oh my God, the Earth is bigger than we have ever thought. There's other continents beyond the ice wall. You know it. You know it. Tell your tell your tenured professor like what's what. Oh boy, yeah, it's so fun. Internet. I've gotten so dumb like since the advent of it. It's really fun, you know. But here's what good thing about the internet. If you like computers, if you like computational devices like I do, you can teach yourself how to program. And while I'm here, I don't know if this is even gonna register on YouTube or whatever, but since a young age, I was highly fascinated by the concept of like programming computer, like the timing stuff, and like I had a Texas Instruments computer, and it came equipped with a programming language, BASIC. So in BASIC programming, you would, like, for maybe the simplest program, you would write it out by line numbers. So like you could do, and it would do it in a sequence. It would execute them in a sequential fashion. So you could enter, and everything was in capitals. Yeah, there was no lowercase in this like 8-bit computer. But you would enter a line number, like could be 3, could be 17, it could be 10, like the first line number. Just put in, like, typically you put in like 10. So instruction number 10, because the computer is going to read it sequentially. So 10 space print open quotation welcome period quote, and that's it. And then if you ran that program, it would just spit out welcome. So you type run 10, would spit out welcome. And then you could get into, I could go on, but it's pretty boring. Nobody is interested in the nature of programming except like programmers. Like my aunts and cousins, all they care about is like going to Mexico every year. It's not true of most women. Like spending money is like not like ultra wealthy women, but average women is like, if they can post on Facebook, well, I'm going to Mexico, it's like status symbol. They just leveled up. It's like, holy man, like that's all they do is like go to Mexico, man. It's like, then they do cross comparisons on Facebook, like the passive aggressive stuff, like, and they don't talk to me. Like, they never invite me. Hey, you want to go to Mexico? Like, they know I'd just say no chance. But yeah, but like getting an invitation, and kind of tickle my fancy, I suppose. just give me an opportunity to say, God bless you for inviting me, but I can't go this month because I'm too busy. I'm too busy earning money. So you go ahead. You're rich. Yeah, God bless YouTube. And I'm not a Christian BTW. I'm like anti-Christ. I'm not anti-Jesus Christ, but anti-supposed Christ, if that makes sense. There's only one true Christian, and that's Jesus Christ himself, in my opinion. No in between. Every only. Am I a Christian? No, I'm not. I'm not a Christian. I'm a regular dude. And there's like people out there, they make an identity and stuff over Christianity. I find it. I'm just gonna say it. I may as well. I'm not gonna hide behind it. It sickens me when they take the Lord's name in vain. Is what I see is happening. These mega churches. What? Really? Like multi-million-dollar structures. Like, think Jesus would have approved of that? Like, I can just see it from afar, and like pulling up in their like fancy cars and all that stuff. Oh my goodness gracious, God save them. I was like, God. It's like it's all like a big sex cult at the end of the day. It's like, whoa. If there's such a thing as burning in hell, like you're well on your way there, fella. I thought that was bad. Oh, yeah. Do it. At least be honest. If you're gonna be a renegade. Uh, what am I like? What did my mom call her brothers? It's a really insensitive term. They'll come back to me. Come back to me. Always does. Yeah, I explained to Buddy, like when I was like driving bus in Calgary, and then like from the bus company, one of the other drivers like offered me a weekend gig. Like, I would have been like 27 at the time, I think, and I was pretty spry, and like I was like, yeah, I could handle like 2 jobs, weekend job, and a little more money sounds good. And it was like doing laundry pickup because I had the commercial driving license, right? Like, to drive heavier vehicles and stuff like that. And this is in Calgary. And then, so my job, like I'd have to go run a route and collect all the dirty garments. Gross me up to the maximum, right? Right, ladies? Ooh, gross, man. I don't know. I think girls like that. They like smelly garments and stuff. But I was like, oh my, goodness, like, oh. But I didn't let it show, or it's like, I'm here to do a job. From the meat packing plant, everything smells like rotten meat. From the fucking hospital, everything smells like AIDS. It's like, holy fuck. But you're just like, thank God I've got a strong immune system. Just gather it all up, throw it in the fucking bin, fucking wheel it out to the truck, fucking off to the next location, and then back to the laundry. And then at the laundry facility, it's like Breaking Bad, man. It's like, whoa, there's not a white girl working there. There's like maybe a couple of ivory homosexual dudes, maybe. It's like, but and they're looking at me like I'm wow, Sky Drives. It's like, I'm like, oh my God. I was just fresh out of a breakup with an Austrian chick. And I'm like, I don't need any kind of like introduce me to your Filipino parent type shit. It's just too much. No joking around, folks. I hate to admit it. Like, I kind of looked at it. I thought, like, maybe traditional values, like nice looking girls. But I don't know, man. I got my own designs and my own agenda going on. I can't have a foreign girl like griping at me and stuff over finances and stuff like that. Gee, just not ready. Just at almost 50 years old, I'm still not ready. Still not ready. When I'm ready, lady, you're gonna be the first to know. I'm gonna pull my SoundCloud channel and put everything on Spotify. That's how you know I'm serious about our relationship. If you're listening to me, who you should listen to is, like, there's YouTube. One of my current favorites is Ben and Emily. And they are like a power couple. Ben, he does a music thing. He goes by Ben Tangle, which is like, I like that play on words. Like, and I've listened to his stuff, and he is like clearly inspired by David Bowie and John Lennon. I was like, through and through is cross like market, like him and his girl like doing houseboating and traveling in vans and stuff. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, well, where'd you find this girl? Like, 'cause she's like a high intelligence type. Like, I'm immediately jealous that, like, or envious, like I should say. I'm envious that I met one girl like her in my life. She's like now with a younger dude. Yeah, but see, okay. I'm pretty soused. Okay, seeing. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. Like, go check out Ben and Emily on their houseboat, and then fill your boots, and come back to me and say you're not envious of that relationship, because like I'll tell you, man, there's that is like the penultimate, or if they're maybe the ultimate, maybe even the ultimate relationship. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. Like, you want to be them. You want to entangle with Ben Tangle. Yeah, you want to be in the sound booth while he's recording. You want you want to yeah, instead of being on the other side of the screen on YouTube, like, you want to be there while he's remarking in a sardonic way about things. It's like, yeah, man, this guy is like, he's like bolted down, man. There's no, this guy is like incredibly, as they say on like 4chan /poll/ like based. And this guy is based, totally, and unarguably, or it was like based, like, no doubt about it. Like, doing like David Bowie, John Lennon-esque like tracks, like while you're houseboating. Can you even? Who's gonna top that? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna be William Shatner and pretend to go on a rocket ride with fucking pajama pants. What's that? Fucking. This is what gets me about, like, okay, I'm just gonna say this. William Shatner, he goes on a rocket ride with like Jeff Bezos, right? Or Virgin dude, whatever. I can't even remember. I can't even keep all these like high-powered name people together. But they go on a supposed like out into orbit, eh? And William Shatner is not gonna pull out his mobile phone and like take pictures or video, because it's so easy to do. There's none of that. It's like Captain Kirk. It was like, you could tell. I bet if you interview Captain Kirk and asked him like directly, he'd punch you in the face, because he has no recourse. No joking around. Like, no, I betcha. I would go like, how, and then like I would do that. I'd be like, I'd pretend to not even think about these things, right? Like, I'd be like if I happen to like run into William, how would I get William Shatner's attention? I would like be in a CBC lounge, like wine and cheese, like type of fare. I'd be like, have my like nanny guitar in my hand, and I'd sing a song. I'd be like, I'd introduce it myself. I'd say, well, this is a song that was written in the turn of the century by a lawyer. Yeah, I want to say lawyer, like all the ears perk up, right? like, oh, you know, and da 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 da. I do your background. It's like, and then I'd be like, well, there was a wild colonial boy, Jack Duggan was his name. He was born and bred in Ireland in a place called Castlemaine, etc., etc. And then maybe I get the attention of the likes of William Shatner and some other celebrities, like, oh, Blakey, you got a nice voice, bro. Like, yeah, let's go do some mushrooms. That'd be my like, mushrooms? Are you crazy? It's like, yeah, I know, dude. Yeah, like, go do some mushrooms, and then like pull out the notebook. That's when once you do mushrooms, after you if you do mushrooms, man, you better have a notebook. Because if you don't, you're wasting mushrooms. You're wasting shrooms. You're wasting the psilocybin. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna do shrooms, you gotta, well, it's never a waste. You know, it's like the notebook is like a smartphone or whatever, right? But if you're doing shrooms, like, you know, lock your smartphone in a secure location. You just put it away, like just forget your stuff for just, can you do that for 7 hours or 12 hours or 13 hours or 12, 13, 14, 16 hours? Could you just lock away your smartphone, like put it away? Are you capable? You know, maybe if you're a business person, you can't, like, you're, or, you know, like the other guy's gonna jump on your clients or whatever, right? It's like consumers are ruthless. They're like, this guy didn't answer me in 5 minutes. I'm going with contractor B now. You know, it's like contractor B is going to the bathroom or whatever. It's a phone discharge, and it's like, what happened to our, like? And it's like the customer's like, fuck you. Yeah, fucking it was 3 minutes time. You didn't answer my call. You're scratching your head like, fuck, man. Sorry, bro. Sorry, nothing. I'm going with contractor B now. Contractor B's got all the. He answered me right away. You're like, well, I guess I'll wait for client D, I guess. You know, what are you going to do, right? You know, you're just like, dude, this fucking dude blindsided me. He's like all hyper and shit. Like, that's, man. Like, going through life, I guess I get it. Like, boy, oh boy. Can I afford to have another brewski? I'm thinking I can. Thinking I got one left. Oh. I'm a spry chicken. No, it gets harder and harder to the points, man. Oh, yeah. I hope this is all, going down. Oh, because, I can tell, stories about, how I was on YouTube before it became Google, and I did some really fun, videos, they always turn psychedelic. I had this thing cooking with a conservative bachelor, and I did a whole montage, intro, with so you call it Seinfeld bass playing, boom, 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 and then a lot of just the word that came to mind is gravimetric cuts and pictures of upward of high-rise buildings, cooking with the conservative bachelor, and then of course most of my productions it devolved into psychedelic stuff with weird audio riffs and stuff, but all original. It was all my own musicianship, so there's accolades toward myself. nothing to really write home about. Not kid yourself not. I tried to show my parents hey, check this out, but they're busy watching CTV news and stuff, right? That's okay. I see it all now for what it is. It's all gonna be okay, brothers and sisters. No joke. No, no joking around. Yeah, what do I know? Yeah, take my word. I wish I thought I had another beer. I don't want to get all too drunk. I think I have more coffee to mix this liquor with, but this is one of my favorite mixes, BTW. They call it. I don't know if you can see it on my bad camera. It's the most inexpensive rye in the store. It's called T-Rex. And it's made in Alberta. So I'm an Albertan, so I'm okay, I'm sporting. I think it's got some kind of Masonic thing to it. 100% rye. So they make it with rye. It tastes, I'll tell you what, it's on the sweet side. Just because something happens to be less expensive than another thing doesn't mean it's lower quality necessarily. And because it's called, this is a thing I came up with. I'm pretty particular about coffee, right? So I'll go to No Frills and get President's Choice beans. Which is, let's call it 20% more expensive than if you're buying ground Folgers or whatever, right? I'm willing to pay $1 more per month to get whole bean coffee, President's Choice. And I got a bean buster and I got a percolator. So when I make coffee, I'm kind of semi-serious about it. And then I mix that good coffee with the T-Rex. Maybe you've heard this before. Stop me if you've heard this, but I call it Jurassic coffee, and I drink it. I drink it readily. Yeah, I'm waiting for the laugh track now. They're supposed to laugh. Ain't nothing gonna break my spine. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I've got to keep on moving. In the middle of the night, I go walking in my sleep through the valley of darkness and the river so deep. So you want a karaoke partner, man? I will destroy. I will mangle. I'll mangle the opposition. I will, but I won't. I'm not. I've got my own agenda. It doesn't involve like karaoke party or whatever. Ah, man. You know what's hardcore? Running out of smokes, but good news. Got like a half pack. Got like 9 smokes here, so it's not a big whip. Plus, I've got like 5/8 of a Mickey of T-Rex. T-Rex, man. And I've got a day off tomorrow. Just like life is starting to look up right about now. I'm like, that's what I tell my friends. Like, I have enough booze that I'll get on chat roulette tonight. If I'm sober, I'm not doing chat roulette. I don't know. Maybe, you know, I'm gonna like who am I to like engage in international affairs, stuff like that. Like I can't, you know, I don't have the background, or like I don't know the facts, so I'm not in a good position to really be helpful. Like I'll sing songs, like blah, blah, blah. I'll sing songs. yeah, easy cop out. Yeah, I'll play in the band. I gotta talk about financial stuff. Too delicate and complicated. It's like you hear stories about like friends from high school who get into like diplomatic service or whatever, and then you really you don't really hear from them. Yeah, like nowadays, like Facebook, see surfactory stuff, but you're not gonna. But that's the idea. Like if you're sworn secrecy and shit, like you know, it's like we're having a fondue party. Look at us. We're gone to Barbados. Isn't it nice? I'm not talking about like documents they're seizing or whatever. And imagine being in that position where your job is to like interrupt someone else's life and like take their book work or some shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, how low can you go? Like, working for like old money families at the end of the day, like, gross me out to the maximum. Just want to open a studio, make music, easy, simple as. No dicey. I even made I'm quick to say, yeah, I made something, but I'm working on a new game that like is exciting to play and stuff. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to tell you the name. I got a name for it already, but if I tell you, I'll jinx my whole operation. I'm gonna do the programmatic mechanics of the game, and then ideally, if I have a few extra bucks, like I'll hire like graphics dudes to make it all like we call it like a little bit of cool graphics can go a long way. It's like play again. It's a long shot. It's like, let's see if I can't do it. I'll have to get a deck of cards and some dice and like, get to work. And then try and tap it out in machine code, maybe. Machine code. That's even. No, I'm not going to bore you all with. There's perhaps future listeners out there who are like thinking like, yeah, tell us more about programming. Here's what I know about programming is the top level humanistic programming language is C. And if you're in the business world, you want to know COBOL, which stands for, let's hear it, commerce-oriented business, something like that. Back in the day, like we had Pascal. I didn't know. I like beyond basic, and calling a subroutine in basic programming is about the depth of my knowledge when it comes to programming. I was like mystified by reading data numbers and factoring them into arrays. So that was about where I like tapped out and like started playing guitar so I could get with chicks. Chicks they're never interested in like subroutines and shit. They want to hear like sing song, guitar. Yeah. Yeah. Well, as pathetic as I am, I'm just gonna bid everyone who happens to listen to this good night tonight. Here where I'm at, we've experienced like extreme cold snap where it's been like minus like 26, minus 30 centigrade. And today it's been like +1, +2. So it's a welcome warm up. Welcome warm up in the cool pool. and hopefully one day, perhaps, maybe I'll be on stage and I'll be able to perform a number or two with, I'm thinking of getting, I'm primarily a guitar player, piano player, dude, singer, but I'm thinking maybe my calling is bass guitar. So if all things go as planned, like I'll have a really nice sounding bass guitar amplification unit and a comfy, even if it's a 3/4, whatever I can. I'm kind of a cheapskate, so like I'll see what's on the secondhand market. Maybe I can play 3/4. My fingers are a little bit, they're not. I don't have like really long fingers, but I can handle a full size bass. But maybe 3/4. I could do a lot more tricky business on it. But I'm gonna finish this smoke, and shout out. You know what? Since I guess I'm technically a YouTube guy, so I'll give a shout out to Outdoor Boys. A fella, he does like extreme Alaskan camping. Steve Wallace really inspired me to pick up my YouTube stuff, and I highly admire his ability to like pick out is like, talk about home chef. I'll say that, like, or making a meal on the fly, making something tasty on the fly. Not unashamedly like doing like a little bit of processed food, like coupling that in with stuff he brings out, like that. And YouTube. Too many to mention. I've one. One personality on YouTube I really dig is Awar Anon. When he goes into classical architecture and like head scratching stuff, is like yeah. I mean, we weren't told the truth like in school, right? Like, check this guy out. I send links to my friends. And I don't know if they reach him. And YouTube, like, I could go on and on. I don't want to play favorites. Favorite. N'est-ce pas? How do you say play in French? N'est-ce pas? Joyeux. Mm. Mm. But like earlier I said, like I've got enough liquor to get on chat roulette, so I'm gonna do that. Talk to my cohorts like across the land. Oh yeah. Yeah, in the future I'm gonna make more music. Hopefully like something that resonates with someone. If it's one person or 100 people, like to me it's a success. So like stay tuned. I'm probably not going too far, and but I've got to go down to the pickle factory. I've got to go down to the smelter unit. No. Yeah, okay. That's not going to make the top 40, but my next song, I guarantee, will.